Namo Amida Bu. I wanted to talk about why I left my original online Sangha, True Shin Buddhism at Yahoo Groups. This group was founded by Paul Roberts. He wanted this group to be a place where anyone seeking knowledge of Amida or information on True Shin Buddhism, aka Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, could go to this site and see archived conversations on every subject, ranging from faith to doubt to what the dharma meant, what the Pure Land Masters meant. The other day I found out that the person Paul put in charge had a personal crisis of faith and just deleted the site altogether. I've since gone to this person's YouTube channel and I've noticed he's uploaded Christian cantatas proclaiming Jesus as the Lord and Messiah. The particular cantata, this guy's a musician. Okay, I wanted to make this video to explain some things very important. First is why I left True Shin Buddhism at Yahoo Groups. Second, I want to talk about what Shinjin really is. And if one day you will see me on my video or on one of my sites proclaiming that I've had a crisis of faith, I no longer believe in Amida, and I'm not really a man of Shinjin, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving Buddhism, and I'm seeking something outside of Buddhism. Spoiler alert, you will never ever hear me say those words. I don't care what happens to my mental capacities. I don't care what happens in my life, what crisis I'm going through. And I've been through crisis before and after being a person of Shinjin. Before, whatever religion or ideology I was a part of, I would just abandon it because obviously it wasn't working. Since I've received Shinjin, and that Shinjin, I want to tell you, our faith referred to as Shinjin is very different from all other forms of faith because it does not come from us. I don't make myself believe in Amida Buddha. My faith in Amida Buddha has nothing to do with what is going on in my personal life in this Sangha world. Amida Buddha is real, and his Pure Land is real. And this is the miracle of Shinjin, is that it actually proves the reality of Amida Buddha as a living entity, as a living enlightened Buddha. It also proves, ergo, the reality of the Pure Land as an actual existing Buddha land. In other words, my faith in Amida has nothing to do with me. I know that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. I understand. Let me explain. I live in the Sangha realm of suffering and desire, in an age known in Buddhism as the Dharma ending age of Mapo, however you want to pronounce it. What this means is that I live in an unenlightened realm prone to suffering and desire. as we know, anyone who's ever been on the internet knows, this is a realm conducive to unenlightened, insane behavior in humans. This is a realm of chaos. And as I have shared with you on my previous videos, on this channel and in my channel I deleted, I am not immune to this in my present life. Now, question. Is it going to ever get to the point where there's so much chaos in my life, or I have such crushing crap going on in my life that I say, oh, F this, Amida isn't real, his Pure Land isn't real, I can't take this, I gotta go search for something better? The answer is no. There is nothing better. Guys, I've searched, there's nothing better. When I say in my videos, I spent my life, at least from the age of 10, sincerely searching for the truth that would bring me peace and happiness. When I tell you I found nothing until I received Amida's gift of Shinjin, that is a true fact. That is not a lie. Someone who tells you they no longer believe and they are leaving the faith and seeking something else outside not only of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, but outside of Buddhism altogether, that person has abandoned the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Those are the three jewels. Okay? These are the foundations of our Buddhist faith. Anyone who can just do that, anyone who can just delete years of Dharma truth because they're having a personal crisis, that person is not a man of faith, and not a woman of faith. They're not a person of faith. They may have faith in something else. They never received Amida's gift of Shinjin. I waited before making this video when I first found out about this guy deleting Paul Roberts' work, because I tend to be a person who's you do you. Okay, yes, I've got my views. They're very orthodox, they're very traditional, but I'm not a person who likes controversy. I don't go on the attack. And originally, when I found this out, I became very enraged. I wanted to go on the attack. I was going to make this video the day I found out. And it was going to be laced with F-bombs, and it was going to be curse words, because this was my original teacher who was a good teacher, and that is one of the ingredients necessary in having karma ripe enough to be open to receiving Amida Buddha's gift of Shinjin. A loving teacher who will guide you in the faith and bring you to that point. That was Paul Roberts. Paul Roberts is not responsible for my receiving Shinjin any more than me or anyone else. That Shinjin comes from Amida, and that's why I wanted to make this video. I want to make clear to all of you who are confused in the Sangha, who have seen people who are gung-ho about being a person of Shinjin, who just suddenly one day say, "Oh, I need to re-examine my Shinjin. I'm leaving. I'm joining another Buddhist group. I don't want to limit myself to Amida. I don't want to." These people never had Shinjin. This is not a name calling video. This is why I refuse to mention this person's name. Because I don't want to make it about him. I want to make this about Shinjin. I want to make this about recognizing what true faith is and what it is not. And I'm going to talk about why I left Paul Roberts' Yahoo group, True Shin Buddhism at Yahoo Groups. I've talked about when I received Amida's gift of Shinjin. The day I did that, and it will forever be in my mind, tears of joy filled my eyes. It was the most astounding epiphany I'd ever had. I fell on my face before this shrine and worshipped Amida Buddha, thanking Amida over and over. And this was right before I went to work. I was dressed in my work clothes. I was getting ready to go to work. I immediately went online and contacted the group, texted Paul Roberts, who was in the hospital with some very serious issues that eventually led to his death. In this realm, he is now a Sambhagakaya Buddha in the Pure Land. He is an enlightened Buddha. Now, of that I have no doubt. Paul Roberts had Shinjin. Up until the end, he did not deny Amida. He did not deny or leave or abandon the Sangha. He was faithful to the end. That is a person of Shinjin. That is me. It has nothing to do with my ego. I'm not great. I'm an idiot. I'm a spiritual idiot. I'm a bamboo, as we say in Jodo Shinshu, a spiritual idiot. And if this was about me and my maintaining my faith, I would have left a long time ago. As I have every other belief system I've ever had in my life, with the exception of Jodo Shinshu, with the exception of my faith in Amida Buddha. Why? Because it is within me like a rock, solid, in concrete. It's not going away. I'm not going away. I'm not going to one day deny Amida and then start posting Christian crap on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to go and post Wiccan stuff on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to go... You're not going to see me put up videos on how to align my chakras using crystals. And if you're into that, more power to you. That's great. Getting back to why I left my original Sangha. As time passed and I grew, as I became more settled in my faith, I didn't grow in my faith. That doesn't come from me, so it can't grow or diminish. It is solid. It is complete and perfect in itself. My Shinjin, my simple faith in Amida, which comes from Amida. I can't stress that enough. That's why I keep repeating it. It comes from Amida. It doesn't come from me. But since Paul was in the hospital, and I think Paul knew, his time in this Saha realm was short, he put this person in charge as head moderator, as head of True Shin Buddhism at Yahoo Groups. And from day one, there was something off. I wanted to spread the Dharma out of gratitude and love for Amida Buddha. I wanted to share this message of this wonderful thing I have received called Shinjin. And so I agreed to become a moderator. It was me, this person who was supposed to be in charge, and another person. Shortly after joining as moderator, we had a couple of trolls on the site. And one of them decided to just attack me full out, making very personal comments. The person who Paul put in charge did something that is so crazy. He allowed this person, not only allowed this person to attack me, he never responded, he never defended me. That's the one thing about a true Sangha guys, is that we have each other's back. Here at Amida G, we have each other's back. We are, as Paul Roberts would say, we are connected by the golden chain of Amida, of his light, of his life, of his love. We are fellow Nimbutsu reciters. We are there for each other. But this person who Paul put in charge, I became very upset. He didn't respond to the guy at all. He didn't ban the guy. He didn't tell the guy, you're going to act properly or I will ban you. We will act with respect. Had that been Paul Roberts, Paul would have put the guy in place immediately and said, if you continue, we will either ban you from the site or we will make it so you can no longer participate until you learn to behave. This is the spiritually mature response to this situation. Not in this case. This person who shall remain nameless. When I went off on him and I said, why did you not stand up for me? His response was, well, I decided we were going to do role playing. See, this was like a game to him. It wasn't serious. This is the Dharma message, guys. This is serious. It's not about me playing games. It's not about me. I don't fuck around with this. Excuse my language, but I'm pissed. I don't fuck around with this. I speak from here. And I do so knowing full well that I don't know everything, that I am a spiritual idiot. And so every video I make, I show my sensei, a man I love and respect, who I refer to as my nephew, who refers to me as his uncle. That's how close we are. We are a family. I consider the people at Amida G to be my family. I have their back. Josho has my back. This guy did not have my back. And so he said, yeah, I figured we do role playing. Of course, he, being in charge, this is the ego, said, I figured I would play the part of Shakyamuni and you would play the part of Devadatta. At that moment I was like, this guy has some serious issues. A. And B, this person does not have my back. And C, if this guy is in charge, this is not going to end well for this group. And so I went to Amida. I fell on my face at that altar right there. I poured out my heart. I cried a lot. But I knew I needed a real Sangha where I would have the love and support that I got from Paul Roberts. It wasn't going to come from this guy he put in charge. This is my personal experience, and I have a right to share it. It's not me slamming or defaming another person. This is me talking about why I left this group and why I joined Amida Ji. I knew about Josho from Facebook, and I reached out to him. And I poured out my heart about that situation, and there were other things going on. At that point, the group had, behind the scenes, been enmeshed in a lot of drama. I wanted to focus on Amida. I didn't want to join a group filled with drama and someone who would just throw me under the bus. And I knew that if this guy was in charge, he would throw me under the bus, just like he did. And I thought I'd play a game. You know, I'm thinking about being Shakyamuni and making you Devata. You know, what the fuck is that? That's mentally, that's unstable behavior. That is, it's insane. And so I talked to Josho about I couldn't take it anymore. And like I said, it wasn't just that one situation. This had been happening. A lot had been happening since Paul put this person in charge. And so I said, I want to come over to your group. I need, the one thing I like about you, I told Josho, I said, you just talk about the Dharma. You don't use your opinions. You exhaustively footnote everything you talk about using sutra and dharma texts. The word, based on the words of the Pure Land Masters. I need that. And so I went over to him. And recently, a few days ago, I found out this person had, due to whatever was going on in his life, whatever personal crises, emotional, psychological, personal, deleted the site and has now started posting a bunch of Christian stuff on his YouTube channel. Whatever, man. Whatever. Paul put you in charge. And that's not saying anything negative against Paul. I love him. He loves me. He dwells in the pure land of Amitabha Buddha. And I have deep respect for my original teacher, my sensei. Now I want to talk about Will there come a time when I get on this YouTube channel and I say, you know, guys, I can't do this anymore. I don't believe Amida's a real Buddha. I don't believe his Pure Land is a real land. I'm going to try Zen, or I'm going to go back to being a Wiccan, or I'm going to, I don't know, whatever. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Do you hear me? Not because I'm determined I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stand strong. It has nothing to fucking do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with him. He has given me my faith. Therefore, it is not affected by my life. Doesn't mean I'm not going to go senile. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get Alzheimer's. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get knocked in the head and become a total blithering, moron. But I will not deny Amida, because my faith is not a product of me. It is not a product of my unenlightened self. It is not the result of my unenlightened upbringing, my chaotic thoughts and emotions that come and go like clouds in the sky. This morning it was raining. Now it's beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky. My faith in Amida is eternal, and by eternal I mean it will go far beyond my life in this realm. It will go far beyond into the Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha, where I will be born in a lotus flower in the center of Amida's Pure Land, not in the borderland. I do not speak as from arrogance. I am not a Dharma master. There is nothing profound about me. There is everything profound about my faith. That is why Josho gave me the Dharma name Joshin. It means pure faith. And as I have talked about before, and it's not a joke, the only thing pure about me is my faith. So I urge those of you who have been overwhelmed by the recent events, those of you who were members of this Trushin Buddhism Yahoo group, do not give up. Keep on entrusting to Amida. Keep on, because one day Amida will ripen your karma. Will, if you are sincere, he will, in following him, he will bring you to that point where your karma is ripe enough to receive his gift of Shinjin. Do not allow what people say to influence your conclusion as to whether or not Amida and his Pure Land are real. Don't allow the fact that it is confusing and heartbreaking to know someone for years thinking they are a person of Shinjin. A person who did great things, I might add, for the spreading of the Dharma. And this person Paul put in charge did many good things, and I want to say that. And I am grateful for that. He formed a website that is exceptional in sharing the Dharma message, and has the most beautiful prayer to Amida I think I've ever heard. One of the most beautiful prayers to Amida at the entrance of the website, where there's a beautiful picture that looks like that hanging on my wall. But this person, in the long run, proved he did not have Shinjin. It's the truth. This is not me calling names or judging him. And I do judge him. But you do not abandon Shinjin. I recently talked to Josho, and he quoted something from, I think, Shinran, Master Shinran, the founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, where he talked about if a person were to step outside and see the sky filled with images of Amida Buddha, and all of these images were shouting out, Amida Buddha is not real. He is not a real Buddha. Shinran said, I would not believe. Why? Because I know Amida Buddha, basically. And I say that, I paraphrase that with those words as a person of Shinjin. I would be confused, but I would know something was up, just like I did about this guy from the very beginning. There was something that was not right. There was something that was off about this guy Paul Roberts put in charge, in my opinion. And all of this is based on my experience and my perception. So I am not slandering anybody, I am not attacking anybody, but I am making clear a serious person of Shinjin would not play games with people's lives, with getting out the Dharma message. This is a sign of someone who looks at this as a game, in my opinion. Shinjin is everything to me. Only the Nimbutsu is real to me. I love Josho Adrian Kirlia. He is my nephew. And though I know him to be a person of Shinjin, if one day this person I love were to come to me and say, David, I've been faking it. I no longer believe in Amida, which I do not for a minute even entertain that thought. I know the man. I've seen his devotion. He doesn't play games with the Dharma. And he doesn't play games or role playing with getting the Dharma message out. It's not a he's not thrown off. He's not messed up. He's not mentally unstable. And I'm not saying anyone is, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. But I'm saying, I need a stable Sangha. But if he were to come to me, if Josho were to come to me and say, I don't believe this stuff, I would cuss him out because I love him. As I would any family member. I would go off on him. And I would be crying like a baby, and my heart would be broken. And after that, I would turn to Amida. I would not tear this picture off the wall, as I would with Christianity. I would not, as I did with Christianity, I would not smash my beautiful golden statue of Amida. I would not tear up my altar and say, fuck this bullshit, this is bullshit. I was an idiot to believe it. I would never get to that point where I would abandon Amida, because even if all of you left, I would be the odd man out. I would be that weird little man that I am now, walking around with his prayer beads, saying Namo Amida Bu. Because I know Amida personally, through Shinjin. Through that faith he has put in my heart, I know him. I love him. The former gods I believed in abandoned me. Amida is always here with me. There's an old story about a Zen monk who encountered this little old peasant woman fingering her prayer beads and saying Amida's name. And the Zen monk went off on her. And he said, well, what are you doing? You know, what is this? Where is your Amida? Where is your Buddha? And she didn't get into a debate with the man. She didn't argue. She just went. She just pointed at her chest, at her heart, at her chest. He's there. If the whole world, if every Buddhist, Pure Land Buddhist Sangha said he's fake, I'm not into this anymore, and I was the only person, I would feel abandoned by humanity. I will never feel abandoned by Amida. I love him, and out of gratitude, I will never abandon him. When Josho shared the news of this with me, I immediately went online and I said, I will never, in all caps, I will never abandon Amida, the Amida Dharma, or Amida. Where else would I go? I found what I was searching for all my life when I found Shinjin, when I received Shinjin. It's not going away ever. That's what it means to be a person of faith, guys. Namo Amida Bu. Gasho.